Have you ever wondered and asked yourselves, what's wrong with me? Why these things keep on happening to me without giving me a break? You should have constantly tried to find that one single rock that has always prevented you from moving forward. Then this is the video for you. Except that it's not. Because you are the best at who you are. That's for a fact. Do you think there's a need to prove ourselves to anyone? I would personally say absolutely not. This is not a motivational video. Then what is this video all about? It is about helping yourself to find that best you. And this concept called extension of character is just one very important tool. First things first, there is no such thing or anyone who can be called perfect. It is the truth that some may deny, but you very well know that what I'm saying, that nothing is perfect, is true. But why is it so? Here is an example. Consider a living colony of gazelles that have evolved to a very lush pasture, and there are no predators to control them. Several generations pass, and as nature has it, these creatures have evolved perfectly for that. And then the ground starts shifting. The environment changes. Tigers start moving to the places where the gazelles have so comfortably lived for generations. Now, when the tigers attack, these gazelles would not stand a chance, as they are not evolved to run fast and to evade predators. So, imperfection is what drives evolution forward. Thus, there is no need to prove to anyone that you're good at something. Forget that. Forget trying to be perfect. It is all about doing what you can do in its best form. Plus, thinking about being perfect and maintaining that all is like a very hard thing to do. It needs so much effort which actually goes in vain, because obviously you cannot be perfect. Then you try to be perfect in one thing, the other one fails. So it's a system that won't work naturally. So how is that possible? You're at your workplace and your boss has given you a task to accomplish. Now this task is something new to you, but is always something you can do, and you know that too. Then why is there a resentment towards that? I mean, an aversion. Why do you even consider that it is something that you are supposed to do? The answer is the task as such is something novel and unrelatable somehow at the first glance. When we externalize a task, it becomes unrelatable and we associate several negative feelings towards it, such as anxiety, fear, and stress conquers us. What can you do about this? Start relating it to you. Start finding the common ground. Identify those aspects of that task you are already familiar with. I hear someone ask, is that possible in all situations? Well, yes. Things these days have been abstracted so much so that they have become similar to cliches. But when you go down layer by layer, it is all the same blood and bones that you have. This is what I call the extension of character. As a character yourself in your history, you can relate to a particular thing that defines your ability to perform a task surrounding that object. It is like you're a cloud, and when you're given something to do, you grow bigger because you start absorbing it entirely by starting with its bits and pieces. Humans have evolved to finding relatable things and patterns. This is because we can all get well with people who have the similar set of thoughts as us. That made our chances of being alive very high each day, which stood well above the chance of getting killed by a predator. This is also the reason we like music. The patterns that are woven together as harmonies of notes or instruments or even voice helps us identify people and connect with them, because we know that most probably it is a human making such noise that we call music. It subconsciously appeals to us like those tiny repeating crystal patterns that emerge as one big, beautifully and intricately designed sculpture. So how can you apply this concept to your life practically? For example, when I learn a new language, I tend to find common grounds by knowing the history of that language. Thus, when I started learning German, I was able to identify some words that were similar to the Indo-Aryan languages because they have the similar roots, and even somehow I was able to find Zeitungen, which means newspaper, in German, and the similar word in Tamil is Seidigal, and they both mean the same. So this is one example. Similarly, even though you may have a job that you don't really like to do, there are some or the other ways of finding these common grounds that will make the work environment more comfortable, maybe because you are comfortable with your colleagues. This doesn't mean you have to be in that job for years. This just helps you learn things that elevate yourselves to the next level. When you start making these connections, people start connecting with you better. That makes your daily life progress with satisfaction that you have people around. It is a give and take policy. Even elementary particles maintain their bond supposedly by exchanging smaller particles called gluons. You can search about them. For people who feel that their current circle is good enough but are not happy with your work or economic condition, learning will be the answer. This obviously does not translate to the logic that you should be a scientist. There are things that you can connect with because you already know something or the other about it. It is a totally adventurous experience to connect all the dots to form that big picture. At the end, you have drawn yourself a grand masterpiece that is just the beginning of your good times. Following this concept of extension of character makes your baseline happiness level higher, thus increasing your confidence level also. I'll just tell one significant effect of this, which will be you'll make jokes that don't really hurt anyone, and you'll become the source of light in those light moments which everyone really wants. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you liked this content. This is my first psychology related video, and you can consider subscribing to this channel for more such content. The best times are right in front of you. Thank you.